Hello. We're back with some more limits. We're going to do some DNA testing with Pierre, Mr. Oppenheimer. So, yeah, we'll just go, right? Just go. From where you are standing, you could see scientists working on the other side of the visible glass panes. They have they all seemed engrossed in their work. A scruffy looking black panda, wearing a white lab coat, approached the both of you. He seemed to be carrying a notepad with him in his hand. Good morning, Mr. Oppenheimer. I don't even know. I don't. He's a guy, I guess. You are here for your appointment, correct? Yes, that would be correct. The panda stopped for a moment to look at you in his eyes. You must be Mr. York, I presume. Yes, that would be me. Good, good. Let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Scene. Sheen? Scene? I feel like that's supposed to be Sheen. Scene?
We are looking at how to pronounce this name of Irish origin, meaning God is gracious. How do you go about pronouncing it? Sean. Pretty
Sean?
You know, Sean. Here are more videos on how to pronounce Irish names whose pronunciation.
Sean? That's how you say that? Jesus. Yeah, okay. Okay. Sure. Let's go with that. Sean. I'll be working with you today. The panda offers you a handshake, and you took it with a smile. You could feel his fuzzy fur brushing on your skin before you retract your hand. He did the same with your temporary guardian. It is nice to meet you, Doctor. Likewise, Mr. Oppenheimer. Let's get started then, yeah? Follow me, if you please. The three of you made your way inside the room with the glass panes. Once inside, the doctor began to explain the procedures before starting with the appointment. We were asked to lend some DNA samples into the tube. Well, here it goes. Once done, the doctor left the two of you with the samples before returning back. I passed over the samples to one of the other scientists here. Give them a few minutes to analyze and cross-reference it with the dates, with the data that Oppenheimer has given, and we'll let you know of the results. For now, let's proceed with the other examinations while we wait, alright? Wait, I thought we were only here for DNA testing. You turn your head to give the lion an appointed look. The lion noted your glare, but he was unfazed by it. He simply smiled back with a nod. I guess there's no harm in doing these. Again. Alright, Doctor, just tell me what I have to do. Of course, please stand over here. You followed the doctor's instructions throughout the examination with ease. Fortunately, there was no need for needles to be involved. The examination was a bit more complicated than before, with the doctor sometimes poking the inside of your nose with a swab. That was so uncomfortable, ugh. I think that's everything. Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. York. No worries. I'll be off to hand these results to some of the other, to further analyze it. Yeah, whatever. And I should be back with the results of your DNA test soon. Thank you, Doctor. With a nod and a smile, the doctor left the two of you behind. Jeez, Mr. Oppenheimer. You said that we were only here for some DNA test. I wasn't expecting having to a swab poke through my nose. My apologies, Mr. York. But I did say that we'll also be proceeding with some physical examinations, yes? Yeah, but after we verified the DNA, was that not what you said? I suppose you're correct. I simply thought it'd be faster this way. I'm already quite certain that you are his offspring. You must know quite a bit about him then, huh? Yes, I do indeed. As you were going to ask the lion a question, the scruffy panda returned, holding a sheet of paper in one hand. Looks like the results are in, misters. Here, take a look yourselves. The panda handed you over the sheet of paper. The lion moved in close to take a look as well. I'll be back in 10 minutes or so to analyze the recent data that we've collected. Thank you, Doctor. Yes, thank you. With a nod and a smile, the panda walked away. Now, let's see. There's a lot of unfamiliar data printed here, but the word stamped on the bottom of the page has caught your attention. Verified? Does that mean... With a firm grip, the lion placed his hand on your shoulder. Just as I thought. You are his son after all. With a smile, he gently shook your shoulders. So, he's really here? Now that we know, I can begin doing preparations to integrating you into this world, Mr. York. Mr. York? Without your realization, tears are streaming down your face and onto the paper that you were gripping with trembling hands. You didn't think that this news would be affecting you this much. You thought that you have gotten over the fact that your father is gone, but now everything is different. After all these years, this is where you've been? You cried so soft you clutched your face with a shaking hand. The paper that you're holding so tightly is now covered in tears. Mr. York. The lion moved in closer, moved in to cover your trembling body in his strong embrace, as he slowly tapped you on the back with a gentle hand. His body is warm, a pleasant contrast to the freezing room that you are in. You couldn't help but sink yourself into his embrace. My condolences, Mr. York. You stood still as you leaned your head on his front, softly crying into his dark shift. You'll be fine. Be strong. He holds you tighter. You spend the next couple minutes steadying yourself, still stuck in his embrace, and then you spoke with a shaky voice. Thank you, Mr. Oppenheimer. I think I'm fine now. The lion finally releases you from his embrace. Here, you may have my handkerchief. He hands you a white handkerchief, and you took it into your hand to wipe your tears from your face. Thank you. You return back his handkerchief. Would you like to visit the bathroom? I believe there is one just around the corner. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll stay here just in case the doctor returns. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Oppenheimer. What a start to a day. If he's here, does that mean he's still alive? Guess I'll ask later. For now, I think I need to wash my face. With your head facing down, you made your way to the empty bathroom. You took a moment to look back into the mirror. Your face is weary and your eyes are puffy. I look like a mess. What should I do? You slam your fists into the sink counter. I don't know what to feel. Anger? Sadness? Relief? Ah, you've returned, Mr. York. Do you feel better? I'm not sure. Sorry for ruining your shirt, by the way. It is not the issue. Most of it has already dried up due to the temperature. Besides, it is hard to notice it anyways, thanks to the color of the shirt that I'm wearing. All right. Oh, right. The doctor came over when you were away for the moment. I've been given another sheet of paper that I believe you might be interested in. Oh, what is it about? I gave it a thorough look, and it seems. And it has something to do with your immune system. It is said, it says it here that you might need to take a couple shots to avoid contracting any dangerous diseases. You are fine with this, yes? I'm not thrilled on the idea of getting needles in my body again, but I don't want to die of a horrible death if I can help it either. There won't be any serious side effects, right? I am certain that you will be all right. There are other humans here, after all, who have taken these shots before. That didn't answer my question. Fine, so where do we start? I believe we can do that. I believe we can do that here just fine. We just need to wait for the doctor to return. Speaking of the doctor, the lab coat wearing panda walks up to the both of you, carrying an object that vaguely resembles a Tectations box. Ah, I see that you have returned, Dan. I assume that Oppenheimer has caught you up. Yes. I'll have to take some shots, don't I? Yes, but don't worry, you'll be fine. I can assure you that you're in good hands, Mr. York. You're a grown man, so some needles aren't going to scare you, right? No. Good. Now just sit over there and relax. This shouldn't take long. You look towards the lion, and he simply smiles at you with a curt nod. Let's just get this over with. For the next 2 minutes, you sit still as you try avoiding to look at the needles that the doctor is preparing. I mean, same. Like, I kind of do the same thing. I'm kind of, like, fine with the experience if I don't see the needle going in and out. But if I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh god, it's going to, like, you know, like, the mind thinks it's going to be far worse than it actually is. So it's like, yeah, as long as I'm not looking, yeah, in, out, you do your thing. But, you know, it is what it is. For the next 2 minutes, you sit still as you try avoiding to look at the needles the doctor's preparing. Before long, the panda walks over to you and pushes up your right sleeve. Your right sleeve? Why would you do it on your dominant arm? Unless you need to. I don't know. Try to be still. You feel a sharp pain on your right shoulder. You recoil as the feeling of the doctor is holding you still. Shit, that's painful. Study. Okay, this one is done. Let's do the next one. Ugh. There's more? Yes, I'm quite surprised that you haven't taken these yet. I will not pry into your business, though. Thank you, Doctor. The panda gives the lion a curt nod before retrieving another needle from his box. The same procedure happens, and after what feels like an eternity, you are finally done. Finally. It felt like I was being tortured there. You have done well, Mr. York. Thanks, I guess. Well, I think that's all I need to do. Make sure that you drink plenty of liquid, Mr. York. The vaccines will dehydrate you quickly for a short while. That said, if you'll excuse me, gentlemen, I'll be on my way. If you need any more assistance, feel free to talk with whoever is currently working at the front desk. Thank you for your help, Dr. Sean. I can't believe this is pronounced Sean. Like, I'm insane, right? I'm clearly, or you're all insane. I don't know. I'm names. I don't know. I'm used to like Asian names where everything is like pronounced as it looks. You know, makes it easy. Have a pleasant afternoon. Likewise. The panda smiles at you before he walks away with the box in his hands. I'm feeling a bit lightheaded. Give it some time. You'll be all right, Mr. York. Let's hope that is the case. I'd hate to perish this way. Anyways, What now? Are you going to tell me more about my father? I think it's still too early for that. All that I'm allowed to tell you about your father, I have already stated before. More than that, I will have to ask my superior. My apologies, Mr. York. If I had my way, I would not hesitate to tell you more about it. I hope that you'll forgive me. Guess it can't be helped then. How about this instead? Would you like to test out the power of your orb? Based on your reactions, I take that as a yes. Are you going to teach me? If you'd be willing to learn, I would not mind. Then yes. I had hoped that you remember what we talked about about earlier this morning, Mr. York. These orbs are dangerous. You must not take them lightly. It is a privilege to be able to hold one. Please do not squander it. I beg you. The lion looks at you in the eye with intensity. His gaze is unwavering. Yes, of course. I'll be careful. I shall take your word for now. Anyways, let us depart. We'll get a bottle of water on our way for you to drink. Where are we going? Preferably somewhere secluded to avoid any unnecessary accidents to passing civilians. Come, let us go. With a nod, you follow the trail of the lion. Elsewhere. A park bench? What the fuck? Oh, what? We're catching... He's wearing a thing? What? Park bench? My PTSD. Look. Empty park benches are just the most depressing sight ever since watching Kamen Rider Blade. It just is what it is. I'll never get over it. That show has ruined my life. In the best ways possible. Is Blade my favorite Kamen Rider series? It's up there. It's up there. Like, but I also like Drive. It's so mediocre, but like, Drive is just so consistently nice. I loved that. That was the last Kamen Rider series I liked. That's probably why it feels almost special to me, because I was like, I didn't really care for Ghost. I didn't really care for X-Aid. I didn't really care for Build. I didn't really care for Zeo. Was that it? 01, I loved what I watched, but I only watched the first 10 episodes and stopped watching because I'm a bitch. Love the belt, though. Like, I play with that thing, like, all the time. And by all the time, I mean the day I got it, I played with it for like 10 minutes and was like, yo, that's cool. I was still... I wore it to class once because I'm an idiot, right? It was winter, so I was at least able to wear like a heavy coat, so most people didn't notice it. You know, glancing, but you know, classmates would be like, "What the fuck?" And I'd be like, "Henshin," because I'm a terrible person. I only had art classes that day, so I wasn't going to like a history or biology class wearing a Kamen Rider belt. That was not happening. But like, I'll go to an art class because, you know, those teachers don't care. Man, what do I even... Oh yeah, that was a good run. It's already noon though, so we should probably head back. I'm starving. Sounds good. Let's sit down for a bit first before we go. No argument here. I'm going to take my shirt off for a moment if you don't mind. It's getting pretty hot. You're just gonna casually do that? Okay. Like, sure. Not like anything I say will stop you. You probably shouldn't, though. There are people around. It'll be fine. We're in a pretty secluded spot anyway. Figures. Besides, what about you? A cop? What are you, a cop? Are you going to chain my hands? Yes. And if I have to. It was a joke, you dumbass. Man, you're so dense sometimes. Yeah, you're one to speak. Guess that makes both of us dumbasses. Don't lump me with you big mutt. Unlike you, I've got standards. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? You tell me. I have no idea what you're talking about, so whatever you say, pal. Yeah, of course. By the way, I've been curious about that guy you mentioned last night. You mean Dan? What about him? Is he still hanging around the police department? He's not hanging around, you mutt. Well, you know what I mean. He should still be there for another day or two, I think. I don't know though. I haven't got a word from the chief or Sally. I want to meet the fella. Why? You're not going to hit on him, are you? Who knows? But for real though, I'm just curious. After what you told me about him last night, I've been thinking about it ever since. It's not every day that you get to hear something like this. It's kind of exciting. Don't worry though, I'll keep my mouth shut. I don't kiss and tell. The tiger rolls his eyes with a sigh. I guess we can go meet him if you really want it that badly. After we get something to eat, of course. As much as I want to meet Dan again, I still need to eat. Oh yeah, that'll be great. You'll have to buy me lunch for today, though. Seriously? What are you, 8? Deal or no deal? Fine, it's a deal. Score. Oh yeah, for Pete's sakes, go put your shirt back on already. I can sense the others staring. Is that one of your cat senses? And who the hell is Pete? You know what? Never mind. Either way, let them look. I don't give a damn. Of course you'd say that. But for real though, put your damn shirt back on. Don't make me force you. Oh yeah? Try me, big guy. Ah, screw you. You're not worth the trouble. Yeah, no. That ain't gonna work on me anymore. If you don't want to be left behind, you better put your shirt back on and come. But if you left me behind, who's going to treat you for lunch? That's fair. Then again, I got the keys to the house on my end of the bike, so I guess I'll catch you tomorrow. Fine. You win this time. I'll put my shirt back on. Give me a minute to stretch, though. The tiger rolls his eyes again before turning his track and walk away. Wait, no, please don't leave me. See, I put my shirt back on. Back with the lion. Man, how big is this park? We've been walking for quite a bit now. A little more further, Mr. York. All right. This should be secluded enough. Have you been here before? I thought that you're new to this town. I asked the kind gentleman who drove the limo for some directions. He pointed me to this place. This spot turned out to be quite nice and peaceful. I'm quite fond of it. No one should be able to distract us in the near future. I'm surprised that no one is around, though. What's the deal with that? Your guess is as good as mine, Mr. York. Anywho, let us begin, shall we? Please, hold out your orb in your arm, Mr. York, like so. With precision words, we can get there together. And care. The lion pulls out a silver-colored orb from his pocket. It's colored. The game asks me to pick a color orb at the very beginning of the game, right? And I chose blue. I wonder what the different orbs do for like the routes. I mean, I'm assuming that locks you into a route. Are there route partners? Like, am I gonna be like, ooh, this is the Gran route, this is the Dave route, and we were always shooting for the Dave route? I think maybe, I don't know. It depends. We're definitely not like if the routes are split like that by character, we're not doing Pierre and we're not doing Norman. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. But Gran and Dave, that's a toss-up. But I noticed that the wolf guy, if we go to the gallery, he's like the gallery is split between like main characters and side characters, and he's under main characters. So I'm assuming that like if the routes are like that, he's a route, and he's, you know, he reminds me of Dean from Password, and you know that's not like a bad thing. So I'm glad there's no like Tyson or like William, you know, like the hard ass. It's like, ooh, he's so almost Shadow the Hedgehog. Blessed. I've always kind of preferred Jet though. Like as far as Sonic characters go, like yeah, Shadow's like the one, right? But like Jet's really cool. Like he's so underrated. Like the Babylonian rogues in general, I wish they would like really come back in a better way. I loved how they showed up in the zombie arc of the IDW comic. I loved when they showed up. I was just like, oh my god, this is just for me. But I also really like Don the Rooster, but he's only in the comic and only in like one issue. So like there's only like 8 precious pages of content with him. But we'll get back. Its color glints bright as the sunset. The sunlight is reflecting off of its metallic surface. Is this a? I'm assuming this game is European because of this. Because of this U? Yeah. Why do we have that difference in the word color? That's stupid. We should just have it be the same. I'm assuming the Europe one is the original, how it's written. So like America. But that's an extra letter I'd have to type, so I don't know. His steady right arm is placed in front of him with the orb in his hand as if he's reaching for you. So he really is an orb user. Okay, so like this, right? You pull out your still jaded blue orb from your pocket and into your hand, mimicking the stance of the lion in front of you. Yes, that is correct. Now tell me, have you ever used it by accident before? Not that I'm aware of. I don't even know what mine is capable of. I've just been carrying it around with me. Perhaps the only way to find out is to test it out, yes? Your mentor straightens his form, letting out a deep breath before focusing his gaze into your eyes. Now be sure to listen, that you listen to me carefully, and follow my every command. The orbs, as I have repeatedly mentioned previously before, is to not be taken lightly. Do you understand? What is this? What? I don't respect this man. Yes, of course. Good. Now watch. The lion closes his eyes as he takes another deep breath, his right hand tightly clutching the silver orb. Seconds pass before he opens his eyes. His silver eyes are now glowing brightly in the afternoon shine. The ethereal glow makes his appearance more intimidating than before. He quickly takes out his pen from his pocket with his empty hand before showcasing it to you. Watch closely, Mr. York. You give him a curt nod with your attention focused on the pen he's holding. The lion strengthens his grip on the pen, crushing it at his palm with ease. He releases the grip and places the mangled pen on the top of his palm. Keep watching, Mr. York. We are not done yet. Soon after, to your surprise, you see the broken pen turning into a liquid substance before slowly molding itself to become an object. You can hear a soft growling coming from your teacher. I think this shall be enough. Here, take a look. The lion passes you a black metallic object that vaguely resembles a knife. It's quite crude in terms of quality. Wow, did you just turn your pen into whatever this thing is? It's quite sharp too. You are correct. The orb that I have just allows me to bend metal objects. I'm able to manipulate metallic minerals at will, regardless of size or density. I've only used it a tiny bit of effort to create this since it's merely just an example. I've been able to create a much more refined equipment than the crude knife that you are holding. Man, this is cool. I wonder what mine is capable of. Well, I might be able to make an educated guess based on the color. Since it's blue, it might have something to do with your mind. Blue orbs often have psychokinetic abilities. Their quality is, of course, varied depending on the orbs themselves. Psychokinetic abilities? You mean like I can move objects that I don't touch? It's a bit more complicated than that, I'm afraid. Most orbs require you to have at least made contact with the object prior for it to work. I could be wrong, however. So, how do I use it? I hold my orb like this? You raise your hand in front of you, resting the jaded orb on the top of your palm. Then, the next step is to focus and think about activating the orb. However, before you do, make sure you do not lose focus during the period, Mr. York. A single distraction can mean life or death. I'd hate to see the worst case to happen. You've got to be kidding me. Now take a deep breath and focus. Do not let your attention waver. All right, deep breaths. The lion slowly circles you around. Good. Now in your mind, think about activating it. Bend it to your will. I special summon? What? Is this Yu-Gi-Oh? Are we gonna special summon? Do lots of special summons? A fusion summon, perhaps? A synchro Shokan? Clustering wishes becoming a new shining star. Become the path that lights the way. Synchro Shokan. Take flight. Stardust Dragon. Yeah, okay. We do that. With your command, the orb on your palm begins to shine brighter. Its jaded color becoming more saturated as it gently vibrates in its place. Man, I don't know. I miss playing a synchro deck because I've been playing Phantasm Spirals since Link format started. Because I never really found like a Link deck that I really loved, like in the entire Link era. And so it was kind of like, I guess I just won't play an extra deck focused deck then, because like the extra deck focused strategies that I loved playing suddenly didn't work in Link format just because, like, you know, how Links worked. Because I played Speedroids, and, you know, Speedroids already had it really tough with Terror top to 1. And, you know, that sucked. I guess I could have put in a Winwinch engine, but, like, do I want to put the Oni-chan engine in there? Like, when they were expensive too, like at the time that I was thinking about picking it up, like they were really expensive. But I do miss Synchro Summoning, like that was so much fun. But I also love Pendulum. Like, yeah, I'm one of those people, I'm sorry. But I loved playing Pendulums. Pure Odd Eyes during the late Pendulum era was real fun, especially when we finally got Revolution, Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon. The pay 500 discard, add any Pendulum Dragon to your hand. Like, damn, that was just like, ugh. He was so much fun to use. Especially if you copy his other effect with, because he has that effect that lets you spin your opponent's entire board back into the deck, I think. It was either to the deck or hand. But, you know, it worked really well with, oh, what's that card's name? Supreme King Starving Venom. And that was just a deck that I really enjoyed. And, of course, that deck just died with the Link era. And so I was like, like, what if I want to, you know, oh, what's the summoning chant for Pendulums? Like, swing, Pendulum of the Soul, draw an arc of light across the sky. Pendulum Shokan, appear, my faithful monsters. That shit was always great. Man, I miss Arc 5. Like, the show is garbage, but I kind of miss it. Like, it was it was a 100 episode long train wreck that I just couldn't take my eyes off of. With your command, yeah, it's man, I'm sorry for that tangent. Can't believe I actually said that unironically. What? That must be like an actual, like, joke, right? Like, I special summon, like that no other card game uses that terminology. Because, like, Vanguard, it's, you know, Superior Karu. Brastabrero. Or, you know, like, yeah, because it's always superior. So it's like Superior Call, Superior Ride, and Digimon you just play. Or evolve, you know. And even in Dragon Ball, it's just play. Is what it is. What is it in Magic? Do they use the term summon in Magic? It's... Oh my god, I haven't actually touched... I haven't played a game of Magic since, New Phyrexia was the set that came out around that time. So... That was a hot minute ago. I can't believe I actually said that unironically. Look, I have actually, like, in front of people, said full summoning chants before. I used to know a bunch of the Raid Raptor summoning chants because they tickle my soul. Like, I don't remember them now, but it's like... Yeah, I just don't remember them anymore, which is a little sad. But I just remember, like, reading those summoning chants, like, oh god, they're so edgy. I love Shun, love Raid Raptors. Even Dark Rebellion's summoning chant I really liked, but I don't remember it anymore. Like, I remember I think I remember Clearwing. Do I remember Clearwing's summoning chant? Oh no. Oh. No, I don't. Like... Oh well. Well, yeah. We'll just keep going. I'll stop embarrassing myself, I swear. That won't actually happen. In the blink of an eye, you could feel yourself feeling lightheaded, yet, revigorated. Good. Now hold that twig with your free hand. The lion passes you a wooden twig. Oh my god. You retrieve it and hold it, trying to it, hold it tightly using your left arm. Now, you may drop the twig to the floor and see if you're able to move it with your mind. Shifting your gaze from your mentor towards the branch, you release your grip and watch it as it gently falls to the grass surface. You begin to focus, using your will in an attempt to shift the branch into a direction. Come on, move! Psychic beam! Zoom! Gah. You could feel a sharp pain tugging at the back of your head. Focus, Mr. York. Easier said than done. What is this pain? You grit your teeth as you refocus your attention, despite the lingering pain in your head. All right, that's enough, Mr. York. You can stop by closing your eyes. But I haven't even moved the piece of wood yet. Do not overexert yourself, Mr. York. Please listen to my command. With a sigh, you close your eyes for a moment, the pain in your head gradually diminishing. Thank you. Well, it seems that psychokinetic movement is not the orb's function. Curious. No kidding. And after I went through all that pain, how are you sure that it's not the orb's function, though? Maybe I just did it wrong somehow. Well, you seem to be experiencing pain, yes? It is usually a good indication that the orb is active. Yet, even after you tried to move it, it did not budge an inch. You slowly massage your head using both your hands, and you notice the lion looking around, deep in thought, as he mumbled something under his breath. Perhaps. No, but it could. But could it be? Would you like to take another go while we're still here, Mr. York? Do not push yourself beyond your limits, though. Yes, I'd like to give it another shot. I need to know what my orb is capable of. Any particular reason why? I don't actually know. I think it's actually just curiosity. Right? Well, perhaps that is your wish. Then I'll be happy to assist you. Just let me know what that you're not feeling well, and we will halt the session for today. Sounds good. For the next few minutes, you continue attempting to discover your orb's ability, with each iteration causing you more pain than the last. You wonder to yourself why is it that you are trying so hard? You aren't so sure exactly what the reason is, but there is something. Something in the back of your mind that is driving you, pushing you, expecting you to. But what is it, and why? Good. Make sure you steady your breathing. You take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Your attention is focusing on the branch by your feet. Hey, isn't that Dan? You could hear a familiar voice in the distance. Hey, it really is him. Gran, why are you here? Yo. Gran? Without a thought, you lose your focus as you slowly turn your head towards the voice. No, Mr. York, don't lose your focus. The orb shines brighter than before. You could feel a great deal of pain throbbing from within your head. Your right arm becomes weak as it slowly envelops by the sheen of the bright blue orb. Oh shit. A massive shockwave hurls you and your mentor away from each other. You heavily land on the ground, your lung gasping for air as you throw a coughing fit. A spurt of blood comes out of your mouth. With a beating heart, you try to stay conscious, but to no avail. Well, that's exciting. And I think that's a good place to end it for tonight. It's whatever time it is for you, but it's like 3:30 in the morning for me, and I like to move my setup back to my room, and cuddle up with my body pillow, I guess. Uh, you'd never guess who it is. Like, especially looking at the content on my channel. You'd never guess. But yeah, see you around, everyone.